My name is Martin. I have been studying charisma and social skills for 3 years straight. Here are my test results so you can all see that I'm not bullshitting you. I have 30 friends at my local gym. I have a 12-year-old friendship with my best friend, and I have a 1-year-old relationship with my girlfriend with 0 arguments. This video will be split into 5 main points. First impressions, conversations, speaking, listening, and storytelling. Let's go. So the first thing that we need to talk about are the first impressions. The first impressions are the most important thing when meeting someone new. It's called first impression because you can only make it the first time. And that's the most important thing. And you best believe if we fuck up this person or this girl will just resent us and they will not want to talk to us anymore. And that's why we need to learn how to make the brilliant, the most charismatic first impression. And I'm gonna expose the sauce. Every single time when I go into my gym and I want to find someone new, I always start by giving a firm handshake and a nice smile. These two things combined together will make a really strong first impression. What I will do when meeting a new girl or a new friend, I will reach out my hand to them and I will ask for their name and I will proceed to smile next. And I will also keep a strong eye contact to know that this person is listening to what I'm about to say. Because if I just come up to him and listen, my name is Martin, nice to meet you, and he's like, it's not gonna work properly. But I'm gonna give you a really nice way how to make the first impressions last, because it's really hard to just come up to someone and stick out your hand and say, my name is Martin, nice to meet you, what is your name? It's tough, it's hard. So I'm gonna give you a easy starter to first impressions to elevate your charisma even further. And it's called the compliment starter. There are a million different ways how you can start a conversation or maybe even a first impression. But if we start with an honest compliment, you best believe we'll have a much better chance of succeeding because we have already creating this awesome, nice and positive energy. Let me give you an example. Imagine you are going onto the street and you see someone with a very similar fashion style to you. Maybe someone has a very similar necklace to you, similar watch to you, similar haircut, or maybe you are both going to the gym and you both have awesome and big biceps. And now what we need to do is to honestly tell them what we appreciate about this person right here. I would recommend for you, the most important thing that you need to keep in your mind is that this person needs to have something that you truly appreciate. Because if you just go and you will just tell them, oh, you have this beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful, you will be seen as very needy and nice. So just pick one thing that you truly appreciate about the person. I will tell you a personal story of mine. One day I was in a bus and I was sitting at the very front and I had a really good look at my bus driver. But guess what? My bus driver was not normal. He didn't look like those fat, big belly bus drivers. He didn't have those skinny arms. He had a huge biceps, triceps, forearms. Absolutely huge dude was sitting behind the wheel like this. And I needed to go home at that time. And when he stopped on my bus stop, I went up to him and told him, listen, you have a huge biceps. And he smiled and said, thank you very much. And I have to be honest, the conversation didn't went anywhere from there because I had to go. But you best believe that just from saying that, that person will be much more inclined to talk to you because they will know that you have already started with this positive intent and energy. Maybe you can use this at the gym if you want someone to spot you, for example. If you see someone doing, for example, bench press, and you want someone to spot you on the bench, you can come up to the guy and tell him, whew, damn, you are doing some very nice weights, very impressive, dude. You will get out your hand, you will smile, my name is Martin, what is your name? Easy, easy, you have right away made a huge progress because you have made this authentic, but also very nice and wholesome energy by just telling him the compliment about his weight, about their fashion style, about their haircut, about, pick one thing, that's the most important thing. Pick one thing that you truly appreciate. Don't go, you have nice shoes, blah, 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 you will look needy. You have to pick one thing and focus on that. For example, I do this most of the times when I see someone at my city and they will go around me and they have a very nice suit on. I immediately just say to them, you have such a nice suit on. That suit on you looks so great. And they will immediately smile me back and say, thank you very much. Immediately, I created the authentic and honest and very kind vibe. And that's how first impressions are formed. There is much more things to first impressions, like your body language, your tone of voice, your facial expressions, but I will talk about these things in another video. So if you want also see these things, you can also subscribe to this channel. Okay, the next thing I'm gonna be talking about are the conversations. Conversations are very important if you want to be charismatic. If you want to be charismatic, you need to be able to take a conversation from absolutely nowhere, and you have to work with absolutely nothing and make this absolute shit, this piece of crap, and blossom it into a nice, awesome tree. If you can do that, people will be so inclined to listen to you, and they will be so inclined to care about you because you can make that conversation blossom into a huge, beautiful tree. And how can we exactly make this tree blossom? We will split this into 3 parts. The first part of the conversation is this conversation starter. The second part is the conversation middle game. And the third part is the conversation end game. This is the time when you will say to the person, listen, nice meeting you, I have to go. So let's start with the first one. How to make the best opening to a conversation. I have already talked to you about the compliment. The compliment is still awesome if you want to start a conversation from scratch. Absolutely amazing. But because you have clicked on this video how to be more charismatic, I'll give you more tactics. You can also ask for their opinion about something. Imagine how powerful is that. You care about their opinion on your first meeting. No wonder you'll be charismatic if you start doing this, because people love when they can share their opinion with the other person. So if you are maybe in a clothing shop, you are just shopping for some new shirts, new jackets, whatever. You will take the jacket, you will come to a stranger and you will ask him, you listen, do you think this one looks better or this one? And they will tell you their opinion because they would like to help you. And after they tell you their opinion, you can go, and by the way, my name is Martin, what is your name? Easy, absolutely killer conversation. And then you can go from there. For example, what are you doing in the shop? Are you shopping for you or for your family members? Or are you going somewhere else? Or are you just here to shop for clothes? Are you going to, for example, jewelry store? Millions of different conversations in that mall, because there is millions of different stuff in the mall, and you can ask them about anything, basically, about absolutely anything. So that's the conversation opening. You can also use the compliment or the which one looks better in your opinion. Ask for their opinion. And second is the conversation threading. And again, I'm gonna pull up a board for this because this is much more tough. This is hard to explain. My girlfriend told me that I should use a different line, so today I will use a different line. I was in a club with my homies. It was super fun. If someone were to say something like this to you, what are you responding with? How would you respond to this line? I'm gonna tell you a specific hack how to have infinite conversations. And so you can believe me, I have once met a new friend. And this friend, I have never met him before. It was my first impression with him. And I had an 8-hour long conversation with him as my first impression. And throughout the whole conversation, I have been using this singular tactic. Only this, nothing else. So let me show you how this works. We need to use something that is called conversation threading. Conversation threading is when you will take a word and that you will string that word up like a puppet master, and you will ask about that word more. In this case, I was in a club with my homies. It was super fun. The words I'm immediately noticing are the words club, homies, and fun. You can take these words and string them like a puppet master and play with them so you control the conversation. For example, if we were to choose the word club, we can string it up and we can say, listen, in which club have you been in? In the city? At the village? At the whatever, blah blah blah, X street? Multiple different answers. Did the club had blue or red lights, whatever, something random. You can even ask and make it sound like it's a humorous question, like, bro, listen, had the club had blue or red lights? And you can ask in this funny way. So those are the two questions you might ask when it comes to the word club. Then, oh, homies is the big one. I might ask about this if someone were to say this line to me. You can string up the word homies. We can say something along the lines like, have you been with someone I know? Great, brilliant question. Because if you know some people from the club and partying scene, you best believe that this is a very good question, because then you will gain such insane information about people that you would not even be able to get if you were never to ask this question. You might not say this, but something specific like, was David with you? If you have a friend David, for example, and David is always going into clubs and partying, maybe this is a great line you can ask. Or now even better, with how many people have you been with? Insanely also powerful, because he said the plural, so we can also ask, with how many people was he in the club? And finally, fun. What was the most fun thing you guys did there? And now, just by this singular sentence, I have created 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different questions you can ask the other person. And this is the power of conversation threading. You can take this simple line and make it a huge awesome blossom tree. You can see how many branches you have, and you can control the conversation from here, because you will be the one asking questions. And also about the word fun, I just want to add one more. Have you done something crazy? This one is really similar to this one, but I just wanted to add it in. And also I have thought about the word club again. And now we can ask about, have you kissed with any girls? And you can also implement this in a much humorous way. As you can see, we had this seed right here, but we have grown a massively awesome tree. And the best thing about conversation threading is that, let's say, have you kissed with any girls? And they would just say, no. Oh, that's way too big. And they would just say, no, I haven't. Great. Awesome. The good thing about conversation threading is that when they will say, no, I have not kissed with any girls, you can just come back and ask again. So where was the club located? Oh, it was located at Great. Do you know something else about that street? Have you ever been on that street? You can go and again ask from these angles. But if this will also lead nowhere, then you can again go back and ask, do the club had any blue or red lights, like a funny joke? And they might laugh and they will say, yeah, it had. And again, from this you can go to homies. Have you been with someone I know? Was David with you? With how many people have you been with? Oh, I was with 12 people. There was David there. There was Jag was there. And then from that you can also go back to the word fun and ask, what was the most fun thing you the guys did? Listen, it was this. We just beat up the security guy, and then we have done that and that and that. And then you can ask, how did you beat that security guy? Did he fight back? Millions of different things you can ask. If we also know the club, there is a lot of alcohol in the club, you can also ask, did you get drunk? Millions of different questions you can ask just by this simple line. And you can see we've made a huge framework by just this simple line right here. So that's it for conversation threading, and let's get to the conversation ending. Conversation ending is sometimes tough because we don't want to be seen as uncharismatic when we will go into a conversation, but suddenly we have to go. So the most important thing that you can say is to pre-frame that you are going to leave. For example, okay, listen, dude, you might look at your watch or your phone and you will say, listen, it's X time. I will say this last thing and then I have to go. That is gonna pre-frame that you have to go after you finish what you are about to say. And then when the time comes when you have to leave, you will again stick out your hand, you will smile, you will say, listen, for example, David, it has been so nice meeting you, looking forward to seeing you in the next week. And David will say, nice meeting you, have a nice day. Two things. Pre-frame that you are going to leave. Listen, I'm gonna say this one last thing and then I have to go. And second, when you will go, you will give them a compliment. It was so nice meeting you. Something honestly. Don't force it. Just say something honestly that you really appreciate about the person. Something that you are grateful for. And then you can just leave the conversation without being seen as rude. Okay, now let's go to speaking and articulation. Have you ever met someone who was speaking like this? Listen, lad, I have this little beer for you, mate. And if you bloody want to check this out, you can just drink with us and our lads right here, bro. If you want to check this out. And we don't know what these people are even saying. These people are so inarticulate that we cannot even understand what they are properly saying. And that's the most horrible thing in the entire world. Imagine if someone were to come up to you for directions and they are new at your city and they will be like, oh, and you have no idea what they have just said because their articulation is not good enough. So let me explain how articulation works. I'm from Slovakia. I'm from a non-English speaking country, but because I have learned how to articulate properly, you can understand me in a very clear style. So let me expose the sauce once again. The key to this is to open your mouth more. People who are from different sections of the English language, for example, the Texan accent, man, we are not rednecks, bro. Maybe you have the British, man, listen, bruh, I mean, I have seen this water here and I have no idea what that even bloody is. Maybe you have people from Australia, I have no idea how to make the Austrian accent. And then maybe you have some people from the completely other states. Maybe you have people from China, maybe you have people from Russia, maybe you have people from France, and they don't even know how to articulate themselves properly because they were never taught how to. So the only thing that you need to do from now on is to practice opening your mouth more. The English language is designed for your mouth to open up more. For example, if my mouth movements were like this and I'm not opening my mouth properly, I'm doing a lot of sound and you cannot properly understand it because I'm not even opening my mouth properly. You can see that my articulation went absolutely downhill because I was not opening my mouth properly. English language is about opening your mouth. It's about expressing that feeling you have inside of yourself. And that's the most important thing when it comes to articulation. If your articulation in the English language is bad, train your entire mouth to open up and enjoy talking expressively in the English language. And the second thing I want to talk to you about is the tone of voice. And I'm gonna tell you a story about this. My girlfriend's family is living with a housekeeper. They are paying a rent to this guy so they can live in his house. And one day I was hugging my girlfriend goodbye, and this guy came up to me and he said, "What the fuck are you doing to her?" And naturally, you will get fucking scared. You will start shivering, you will freeze up, or you will start to fight him because you will know that this guy is trying to hurt you. But to my surprise, my girl started laughing. She started laughing and she started to hit me on my chest, on my shoulder, like, it's okay, you don't have to be scared. But in fact, I fucking was, because this person didn't know how to use his tone of voice properly. So this is another thing that you have to be careful of if you want to be charismatic. You cannot say a joke with a poker face and with a high volume. Yes, you can say a joke with high volume like, "Listen guys, I'm recording a video right here as you can see." But you cannot say it with no facial expressions. "Listen guys, I'm recording a video right here. Listen." I am using so much tonality and so much melody and good facial expressions that I just don't know how people are doing this. But I know they are doing it because they are showing no facial expressions whatsoever, and they have no melody inside their voice. And when they tell a joke, no wonder anyone laughs, because they thought it was a serious thing they have just said. So if you just change your pitch, for example, when you are telling a joke, "Listen bro, why there is a dog pissing right there, what the fuck?" You can feel that it's much more humorous than just, "What the fuck is that person?" Can't even speak properly. "Why the fuck is that dog there, dude? Fucking owner doesn't even know how to properly do that shit. Get that fucking bitch ass out of here." Yes, you still might think this is funny, but if I do, "Why the fuck is that dog pissing, bruh? Oh, he started shitting also." You can feel how different the energy is suddenly. Try to implement your tonality and your melody and also your facial expressions inside your jokes, because then you will be much more funny. And people will understand that you don't mean things seriously, or on the other hand, they will know that you mean things seriously. I'll tell you a story. I'm usually a very happy guy. I smile, I care about people. One day I was at the Stairmaster at the gym. You know those automatic stairs that you go onto and you just do cardio there. But there was this laser at the end of these stairs, so if someone were to fell down, the stairs would automatically stop. But one day, one of my friends abused this, and he stepped purposefully onto the laser and he cut off my entire cardio. My entire cardio ended because he just did that. And at that time, you're not gonna be like, ha ha, ha, you did so good, yeah, it was so funny. At that time, I had to be assertive. At that time, I had to implement respect. So what do you think I did? Did I ignore him? Like everyone else tells you in the school system, oh, they are bullying you, just ignore them. Or did I laugh about it? And so, don't do that again, that was so funny. I started screaming my lungs off. I told him, if you do that one more time, I'm gonna do something to you, and you best believe that shit is not gonna end up well. He got so scared, he started apologizing to me even the day after that has already happened. The next day, we met in a bus, and this guy started apologizing even the day after what he has already done. If you are always nice and awesome, and you always smile, and you are always nice, if you suddenly break character and you go into this respectful, assertive mode, people are gonna shit themselves because they have never seen you in this way. Never. And they will know that they should never ever do that ever fucking again. But a lot of people, and especially a lot of men, are really assertive right here, but they just have no emotions whatsoever. And they are not charismatic because they are so assertive. So if you will just go in this default mode as the charismatic, very kind and honest person, and if someone tries to take advantage of you, then you will go crazy. Then you will break the character and you will start screaming at them and tell them, if you do that one more time, I'm gonna smash your head against a rock. And they will get fucking scared. And they will never ever do that again. And the final third thing I want to talk when it comes to speaking is the pause. And I'm gonna tell you a free benefits that pauses are doing to enhance our speaking skills even further. The first thing that pauses are doing is that they will reduce your filler words. Those words who are like, guys, listen, today I'm gonna talk to you about social skills. Listen, yeah, I guess we can talk about communication and articulation, These words will be absolutely reduced if you just be comfortable in the pause. Because the pause will give you time to think. And that is the second thing. First of all, it will reduce the filler and non-existent words. Things like and things like I guess, like. And second thing, it will give you time to think. And if you have time to think, you will be perceived as a bigger authority. If you were to see me start this video and I was like, guys, listen, I guess we can talk about social skills and we can do this, you'll lose so much authority. You'll think that I'm not even a real human being at this point. You'll feel like I am a humming robot, and you would not believe that I am some authority, special, ultra, mega speaking coach, charisma expert. If I was I guess So that's why we need to be comfortable in the pause. It's nice being in silence, and you can then understand what you are going to say next. The things like I guess, we are saying those things because we want to fill the silence, because we are scared of the silence. Just be inside of it. Like I am right now. I'm not gonna cut it. Because I know that some people would find this valuable. They would find valuable the pause. And the third and final thing about the pause is that people can comprehend what you have just said. If I pause right now, your brain automatically starts to comprehend what I have just said. And that's the most important thing when it comes to communication and articulating your ideas properly. If you just pause for a second, your audience can understand what you have just said. But if I was talking like Eminem, for example, like this, and you have to use this eye contact and this body language, and then you have to be like this, and you have to use your eye contact like this, and then you suddenly don't have time to process any of the information, and you will forget about everything I have just said. And now I have realized one more very important thing about speaking, so I'm gonna also include this. At the end of your sentences, slow down. And combine it with a pause. These two things combined together will you will best believe that these two things together will give you so much fucking authority. Girls can get away with this. This is why I have this entire channel dedicated to men. Because when a girl ends on a high pitch, that's cute. Because I love you so much. You're so pretty. You look like this. Girls can get away with this. I, as a guy, when I said something like this, you best believe I am some gay motherfucking bitch ass. But if a man ends on a low pitch, whoa. Suddenly really sexy, isn't it? And girls love when a man ends on a low pitch, because women are supposed to end on a low pitch and then pause. And that's gonna be so attractive to women, especially. If you go like, my name is Martin, what is your name? Suddenly much different. And by the way, if the lighting is weird, I've just put up the lights because I was dark. And there's only one step to listening, and it was created by Carl Rogers, and he developed active listening. Active listening to charisma is like bread and butter. These things just has to be together. They just have to be together. It's like humans and dogs. We just belong to each other. We just love each other. We help each other. We cannot be separated. And this is charisma and listening. If you don't know how to listen properly, and if you are always talking about yourself, about your ideas, and you are never telling anyone else how has been your day, what have you been doing, you best believe you will fall short in charisma, because there will be nobody else they would like to talk to you, because people hate when they cannot speak themselves. So just change your mindset in this and try to understand that people love to talk about themselves. It's like their full-time job. They love to complain. You should not, though. If you want to be charismatic, don't complain. But let other people complain. Active listening works like this. If you are listening to someone, you will have a mindset of trying to get as much information out of them and understand them as much as you possibly can. Active listening has millions of different tactics. It can be nodding your head. It can be doing the back channel cues like, I understand, That has to be really rough. Then it might be asking open-ended questions. What do you think is the point of life? What do you think is the point of universe? Do you think the aliens exist? And then also having your feet pointed towards the other person. These all things are the part of active listening. And I'm already getting tired. Fuck this shit. I'm already tired. Let's get through this video. What I'm gonna tell you about active listening is that, first of all, you have to change your mindset. Understand that you are here at this world to learn so much about other people. Learn. Try to know. Don't try to complain all the times. The man who is being interested in others will get more friends than a man who is trying to be interesting. Shift your mindset. Pull up or pull out some screws there. And understand that you can gain knowledge from absolutely everyone in this world. Your active listening will suddenly change. And active listening is not just you listening to them. It's just you having a strong eye contact. You are nodding to them. You are doing back channel cues like, damn, that had to be rough. Your feet are pointed towards them. Your shoulders are also pointed towards them, your chest. And you are asking them open-ended questions. And yeah, there's millions of different habits to active listening, but I'm just gonna tell you the most important one, and you'll be absolutely amazed how well this works. When someone says something, repeat the last 2 or 3 words they have just said at the end of their sentence. I have been at the forest with a lot of girls. With a lot of girls. Yeah, dude, it's been so much fun. Whoa, what was so fun about it? Listen, Rachel, we were there and we were chased by a bear, and then this happened. Whoa, by a bear, that sounds absolutely scary. Yeah, dude, it was so scary. Then these 12 boars showed up. 12 boars, whoa, yeah, dude, 12 boars, and they started chasing us also. By just you repeating what they have just said, they now think they have the hot potato. But in fact, you have just repeated what they have just said. This works wonders. You will have no idea how much information you will gain out of people if you will just repeat their last sentence to them. Because that encourages them to talk more. That's the first thing. And second thing, it shows them that you are still listening because you are just repeating what they have just said to them back. Final part. And that is the storytelling. Storytelling will be again divided to 3 categories. First of all is the get to the point. Second of all, development at the end. And third of all, plot twists. Get to the point. A lot of people, when they want to tell a story, they will fuck up right at the beginning. And they will say, Listen, I was with my friend at this awesome sausage bar, then this person came over, then this happened, and then this happened, and then this happened, and you are almost falling asleep because they did not get to the point. When I was telling you the thing about the bus driver, how I went up to him and I told him that he has a huge biceps, I have never told you about that grandpa that was staring me dead in the eyes because that was an irrelevant information to you. When you are telling a story, try to get to the point because people will stall and they think they are creating this anticipation, but in fact you are just being annoying. So stop doing that. We have been in this forest, suddenly this huge bear showed up. And that's the second thing, plot twists. We need to implement plot twists by pauses or by our tonality and facial expressions. To listen, we have been in this huge forest, really dark, and suddenly this huge bear showed up. Also plot twist. After the word dark forest, pause, change your voice and change your facial expressions, and I go, huge bear showed up. Plot twist. I was in a beach with my friends. We were having a good time, absolutely awesome time. A huge shark appeared out of the water. Ginormous, great white shark. Also plot twist. People will love this shit. It's absolutely great. You should use this. Use a pause before you gotta tell a plot twist. Change your facial expressions. Elevate your melody and your pitch and go, and then this happened. People will absolutely love you for this because they'll know he knows how to tell such a great stories. And the final thing, at the end of every story, there should be a development. There should be a lesson to learn. The most important thing is that the character needs to go through some struggle, but at the end he should be changed. The story when I told you about the bus driver, I learned that compliments are the best way how to start a conversation. From scratch, basically. The best example for this is the Walter White character. We can see the Walter White being a nice guy syndrome disgusting teacher to being a meth kingpin. How of an insanely great character development is that? So at the end, give us a lesson that we can all share with each other. And by the way, if you want to handshake absolutely everyone in your local gym or your workspace and be friends with absolutely everyone, have a 12-year-old friendship with your best friend, and having a relationship with a girl with zero arguments, I have a little surprise for you. I've made a full community of people who are just like you, who want to improve their charisma and their social skills. You will also gain access to me as your charisma and communication skills teacher, and we can hop onto a call every single week and we can talk about how we can improve our charisma and social skills. Finally, you will get access to 30 plus hours of courses and lectures made by me about anything that you can think about social skills. So if you're interested in that, click the first link in the description. I will see you there. And if you also, by the way, want to know how to become the most charismatic version of yourself in 2025, click this video right here. I will see you there. Live a happy life.